You were designed to perceive reality different than you have been taught. You were designed to perceive reality through miracle consciousness. And I am so excited because I'm going to show you how to activate that today. What's up, everybody? Say hello once you get here. It is Wednesday. It is time for another episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. And the guides have some powerful training, some experiments for us all to do here today. Now, something really cool has happened to me recently as I have made my meditation, my prayer, my contemplation, the desire to see my life through the eyes of the divine. And y'all, amazing things are happening in my world. My peace is changing, my clarity is changing, my actions are changing, and I want that for you too. So I am excited to take you through some field experiments. We're going to do some visionary field experiments today. Who's ready? Send some love likes, hearts across the screen. Y'all, the more of us that come together and do this work, the more of us that step back into our power, the easier it gets for everyone. And we are all on a mission together. We all have our own unique aspects of this mission, and we're on a mission together to bring more light to the planet right now because we're in such an exciting time of evolution where the divine potential of the human and what our collective can be is being illuminated. Yes, it's being illuminated through the chaos, but we're finally waking up. And if you are watching this broadcast, if you're here with me live right now, if you are watching on the replay, you have an important part to play. There's an activation that you're going to get today. All right, so we got 3 activations that we're going to do. I'm also going to invite y'all into our weekly routine. I would love to serve you all with intel, very specific intel for you from the Akashic Records. So put your questions in the comments. I will definitely tap in and channel for y'all. All right. I will also give you some insight about what the Akashic Records are if you are new to the Akashic Records. So we're going to play at a really high level today. All right. Here are the 3 activations you can expect. These are going to be our visionary field experiments, y'all. All right. We're going to do 1 activation that will activate the divine lens. This is to shift your perception from survival into seeing from the eyes of source. All right. I'm super excited about that. We're also going to do a timeline tuning experiment where you get to tap into the timeline of your highest desire, your highest potential. Then we're also going to do a sensitivity reawakening. This is another thing that's blown my mind in the contemplation of wanting to see through the eyes of the divine. What's being revealed to me through my life, through everyday moments, is the potential of humanity when we train ourselves properly, when we use our technology, when we program our technology properly. That's what's going on here, by the way. You are programmed, you are brainwashed. It's not a question of whether or not we're brainwashed. Every single one of us has programmed our brains. The question is your programming, is your brainwashing working for you? And if not, you're in the right place to start examining what is possible and where you went wrong, where you need to course correct. And that's what's being revealed to me is the potential, the possibility of where we can go. Like, we are so freaking amazing. I'm excited for you all to have this activation because the magic in your life will turn back on. You'll begin to see miracles everywhere. That's the goal of today, is to activate miracle consciousness. Yep, we are jailbreaking out of the matrix. Let me hear you if you're fired up. Come on, take some of my energy if you need a little bit more. All right. All right. So let's see. Where was I? I'm going to tell you about the Akashic Records. I'll introduce myself to you as well. I also want to say this. I have this as an important point here in my notes. And that is, most people are exhausted not because they're doing too much. It's because they're living without access to miracle consciousness. Okay. Miracle consciousness is not going to happen to you, by the way, in the outside world first. Although that's what we're here to create together. We are here to create miracles, shifts in our material reality. That's why we incarnated into a physical planet like planet Earth. However, we don't start by making changes in our physical reality. You start through the inside. And so before everything appears as a miracle to you on the outside, you've got to invite that perception. You got to start seeing it from the inside. And it will manifest in our material reality. All right? We're going to turn it on today. All right, what's up, y'all? If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Emily Harrison. I'm the founder director here inside the Akashic Academy. For the last 10 years, 11 years in this lifetime, I've been training visionaries, thought leaders, difference makers, how to exit the world of ordinary mind. This is where we get trapped in our limiting beliefs. This is where we miscreate our reality. Everything that you're experiencing, you've created. If you don't like it, you get to create differently. You get to choose new in every single moment, but you have to know how to program yourself in order to be able to do that. Otherwise, you feel like a victim. And when we are coming at this life, this incarnation from only our human perspective, yeah, I get y'all, it's hard. We see the shadow. However, when you tap into the Akashic records, okay, if you're new to the records, the Akashic records are the realm of consciousness that hold all intelligence, past, present, all possible futures. This is the same as superconscious intelligence that Joe Dispenza talks about. It's all the intellect in the universe. It's like the Google to the galaxy. And your soul has a record of every experience that you've had, past, present, all possible futures, why, what your soul is needing to learn from that, why you chose that for yourself. And when you can get this behind the scenes VIP knowledge from your soul, y'all, it gets a whole lot easier. Okay. That's why I love the Akashic records. So the Akashic records are the book of life. They're this realm of consciousness that allow us to get infinite data. There are a couple caveats on how you have to use the Akashic records. All right. Everybody is wired. We're all naturally connected to this field of the Akash. We're also interacting on a planet here that is an Akashic library planet. That means I just got the chills through my body as I said it. My clairsentience went off. That means every cell of consciousness here on the planet has the ability to reflect intelligence or lessons, aha moments, valuable data that your soul needs back to you. Life becomes your teacher. And as you activate this ability to start seeing your life through the eyes of the divine, your innate, your higher self will become your teacher. And so the first thing we do, like I said, is that we fix the oopsies, the miscreations in our life. We fix the repetitive narcissistic relationships. We fix the repetitive being in sacrifice, being in suffering, being in lack. We fix our finances. We fix, I said, relationships. We get aligned with our jobs. That's another thing. A lot of us have transitionary moments where we have to step into a new timeline. Anybody at a crossroads right now where your mission, your purpose, your service back to humanity is shifting and changing? Ooh, that's another part of the divine potential, y'all. We're supposed to play and rest and enjoy the pleasures of the physical material world. We're supposed to love each other. And then when we go to work, we're supposed to go to work in service of what our genius, our medicine is to the planet. It's so exciting to get out of bed and come to work every morning when you make up your own job. All right. I've been monologuing here for, 9 minutes. Let's get into our first activation here. Our first activation, our first visionary experiment is learning to see through the divine lens. All right, type divine lens in the comments for me if you are ready to see this. And I'm going to take just 1 second here. I forgot to do something important, which is to change the settings on my Facebook page so my followers on Facebook can join us. Let's get everybody here. Take a moment while I'm doing this. Think about questions that you might have for, is it live? Oh, I can't change it till later. All right. Think of questions you want to ask the Akashic Records too. All right. All right. Thanks for that little detour. Well, I could tap in. All right. So here we go. The first activation that we are doing today is the activation of seeing through the divine lens. I'm going to invite you to sit up nice and straight. Feel all four corners of your feet on the floor. There you go, Glenn. You get an A+ in the house today. Lisa Gardner, A+. Loving you lots, Lisa Gardner. All right, so sit up nice and straight. Feel all four corners of your feet connected to the ground. If you're driving, don't do this. Come back and do it later. You can also bilocate. You can duplicate your consciousness, send a part of your consciousness off over to the mountain to do this work and come back later. All right, so the technology that we're all installed with that allows us to connect into the Akashic records is called the crystalline tube of light. This is a plasma technology. So the basics of what you need to know about a plasma technology is that plasma is a finer frequency. It's a conscious energy, and it responds. I don't know where that weird accent came from. Hang on. It responds to our intention, to your intention. All right. So as you were tapping into your crystalline tube of light, anchor it into the core of Mother Earth. Imagine anchoring it outside of this time-space continuum into the Akash, the all that is. Okay. And anchor yourself in this channel, this tube. Okay. So what this is going to do is it's going to call forward intelligence from your soul and bring it into your body, where the energy we're bringing up from Mother Earth, this is illuminating your divine potential in this lifetime on this planet. Okay, so that's what this connection does to you. So when you connect in this way and you begin to ask specific questions or ask for specific activations like we're doing today, what you're doing is you are going to rearrange thought patterns, emotions, and feelings to be in alignment with what your highest potential is right now in this moment on this planet, and what the highest step is that you can take. It's going to naturally come into your mind. So your job is to learn how to trust this. Okay, so tapping into that crystalline tube of light, I want you to regulate your breath. I don't care how you regulate it. You can make it even as you inhale. And even on the exhale, you can do a box breath. You can do some Wim Hof breathing, whatever kind of breath regulation you want. Any kind works. The important part is that you are in charge of your own breath, that you are regulating your own breath. Okay? We're tapping into our first visionary field experiment here. We are activating our ability to see through the divine lens. Our crystalline tube of light is anchored. You've got a regular breath pattern, a breath that is under your control. Okay? Next step, imagine opening up your heart field. Open up the heart chakra. You can close your eyes if you want to do that. One really great way to do this is imagine just breathing through your heart. Take that regulated breath pattern that you're doing. And just imagine that you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling through the heart. Okay. Now that that heart chakra is activated, I want you to also activate your third eye. And send all of your awareness into your third eye. Your third eye is located a little above your eyebrows here. It's between the two hemispheres of your brain. It's indigo in color, if you want to imagine that color. And as you're sending your awareness, you're imagining this chakra, this energy point in your body, you are activating its innate intelligence. Okay, so just as like we were breathing through the heart, you're activating heart intelligence. Now that you're focusing on your third eye, you're activating third eye intelligence. But the third piece to this, move up to the crown. Your crown is about 12 inches out to the top of your head. Okay, it can be lavender, purple in color. Activate your crown. This is where we process our relationship to God. So for those of you who are brought up in very religious environments, religious programming, I was brought up in the Bible Belt as a Southern Baptist. I had to, I got to, I didn't have to. I got to re-experience a relationship with Source, with God, Mother, Father, God, through my own innate intelligence, through the Akashic records. That was an interesting compliment. I'll say that. I'm not going to say that that modern day religion is wrong. There's a lot of truth in there, and There's also, in my opinion, manipulation. And so when I learned to tap in to these higher frequencies, I started to get the downloads where it made sense to me. Okay, now I want you to hold simultaneously all three of those chakras. Tap back into your breath. Make sure that your breath is staying regulated. Okay. If you're ready to know what it looks and feels like to perceive yourself through the eyes of the divine, you can say yes now. And you will experience the powerful surge and illumination, synchronization of these upper chakras. Good job. Some slow blinks. Come on back in. My whole body is a buzzing. All right, let me know what you're feeling on that one. All right, here's why it's called a visionary field experiment, is because now it's your job to see what happens, to see how life begins to reveal itself to you differently. Okay? All right, y'all. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if this is landing for you today. All right, I want to go into some of y'all's questions now. All right? It's time for y'all to play along at a higher level now. Ask me some questions. What questions do you have for your Akashic records? What areas in life are you feeling stuck? All right, let's bring some miracle consciousness into those areas of life where we are ready to up level. All right. While y'all are typing your questions in, I will take just a moment here to share with you where you can come hang out if you would like to hang out in person. All right. So I'm going to be at the Conscious Life Expo. A couple weeks. This is coming up. I will be speaking on February 20th at that event. The guides have something very exciting planned for y'all, those of you who show up in that room. Not only will I be doing a live group reading and healing, I'm going to try some stand up, y'all. All right, I've got the stand up, the 3-minute stand up routine. So you're supposed to introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself. I have a 3 minutes of spiritual stand up to tell more about myself. Yeah, I'm scared. I got to practice. My friends are going to be hearing that. All right. You can also come and hang out in Sedona. Sedona is an incredibly powerful vortex for Rise of the Guardians conference. It will be happening May 8th through the 10th. And I am going to be announcing next week, so stay tuned, an opportunity where you can get VIP and behind the scenes with all of these speakers here that are going to be at this conference. There are some heavy hitters. There are people who are on the front lines of bringing through codes, activations, transformations, who are just on the cutting edge of the latest discoveries happening. My girl Isha here, holy cow, you guys, digging alien artifacts out of the ground. Absolutely phenomenal, amazing. All right, and then of course, every year at Lionsgate, those of you who have been there with me, let me know. Lisa Gardner, I know you've experienced this. Let me know if any of the rest of those of expeditioners into Mount Shasta are here. Every Lionsgate, we take our advanced seekers into the secret vortexes of Mount Shasta in order to activate your dormant DNA and align to the timeline of your highest potential, of your soul mission. And we capture light codes. The light code. This is a very mystical, magical experience that honestly, what happens to you the year after you have this experience in Mount Shasta? As the planets, our planet is moving through the different astrological gateways, and we're experiencing the influence of the celestial bodies, everything in your life that is not in alignment to your highest potential will shift, change, and realign for you. It is spectacular and awesome, and I love it. All right, I see some questions coming in here. I don't have a translator into English. So by the way, if you are typing in another language, thank you. And definitely need it all. Definitely need it all in English, please, everybody. Okay. All right, Lisa, thank you for letting us know that you felt all three of those energy centers pulsating together when we did the divine lens activation, so you can see and perceive your life through the eyes of the divine. If you're just joining us, you want to go back and make sure that you check out that activation. Sebastian Jean Felix. Okay, I said to, make sure you type everything in English for me, but I may well throw in some accents along the way. All right, Sebastian Jean Felix. Pepe Le Pew, what can I do? Okay, what does my heart need me to know now? All right, let me tap in, Sebastian, and see what the guides want to bring through for you. Everybody, let's give Sebastian Jean Felix a round. Thank you for being brave enough to ask questions today. You all really, truly make the show. I love what intelligence gets to come in through your inquiry. So let me just drop in here. The first thing that the guides want you to know, Sebastian, is that you are a part of, I was trying to talk into my mic, but I realized it's over here. You are a part of the Rainbow Warriors of Light, and definitely a part of this prophecy of wisdom keepers who are here to bring forward the indigenous wisdom of the planet. So let me know if this is resonating with you right now. And seeing yourself as this character, as this avatar, is going to be is really important for you, because it's going to invite you into the mission, the adventure of the mission. But the guides are saying they want you to look at this as like, try it on as a superhero, as like a superhero persona of yourself. Okay, let me know if this is resonating. Good, you're laughing. I like this. Okay, I also am feeling the Fa Jing energy. So the Fa Jing energy is a frequent, it's like a sensation in the body. And for those of you who hang out often, you've probably heard me talk about my clairsentience. I think I've talked about it a little bit today, like, woo, the goosies. That's one of my personal clairsenses that is incredibly activated. It's super precise. It is so reliable. It is a big old freaking truth teller. And it's taken me a long time to learn how to listen to it. It's listening to my body and all the different sensations, okay? Because sometimes it's sensation, sometimes it's a feeling, sometimes it's a temperature change, sometimes it's the goosies. Anybody else out there clairsentient? Let me know if you feel like you're clairsentient in the comments, okay? All right, so what did I want to say more about this? My body being a lightning rod, the clairsentience, short circuit, the clairsentience, the goosies. Trying on this, seeing yourself through this role. Okay, I'm not sure where I was going with it. Maybe I'll pick back up the stream. Hopefully we do. Tone, are you still here? Are you rattling my cages out there? All right. Let's ground back in. Okay. No idea where we were going with that. All right, let me tie back in. The guides do want to bring forward an activation for those of us who are participating in this prophecy, which is everybody here, by the way. We are all part of this prophecy, bringing back the ancient wisdom here on the planet. And the guides want to invite us to see ourselves as wisdom keepers. Okay. What this means right now in this moment is that we must start extracting more of the wisdom that's happening, that's revealing itself in our life on a moment-to-moment basis. Okay, that means we've got to stop reacting to things. We got to take a breath, and we've got to respond over reacting. That's nervous system work. We did a lot of that last week. Go back and watch last week's episode. Watch it again if you already watched it. That will definitely tap you back into some massive power when you get your nervous system under control. Okay, I'm still working on that. It requires daily practices like meditation, breath work, shifting our focus. You got to do your gratitudes. You got to talk about what's going right in your life. Okay, all these things are very, very important when it comes to shifting our identity. And that's in essence what we're doing with not only the activation that came in today, or the to activate to see ourselves through the divine lens, but also as we begin to perceive ourselves as these rainbow warriors of light, and we begin to extract the information about what's happening in our life, what's really going on. What are your patterns that are contributing to what you're experiencing? That's how you release your wisdom. Okay. It's through self knowledge, is how we release the wisdom. A lot of people feel like it's, you got to channel, you got to tap into some higher galactic guides, or you got to channel it like through mediumship, the ancestors who have passed. Yes, that stuff happens and will happen to you as your DNA continues to activate. You will connect with your loved ones who have passed too, very viscerally too, by the way, as your frequency gets higher and higher. This happened to one of my clients. She shared with me a message this morning. Such a visceral dream encounter with her dad. And as you raise your vibrational frequency, these experiences await us. However, we're not, we don't get to escape doing the work on the physical. We got to do the work in all the causal planes. And doing the work in the physical plane means you're going to show up and take ownership for your energy, your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, your patterns, and you're going to get curious about how you can change them. We're going to work with some more heart energy here for this activation for the Rainbow Warrior of Light. The guides want you to imagine seeing rainbow energy coming off your heart right now. Rainbow energy coming off the heart. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. See this energy coming off the heart, radiating in all directions. Good. Notice what shifts and moves in your body, your clairsentience perhaps. Man, I wish I could remember what I was going to tell you all about the clairsentience. It was good. It felt good. Anyway, I guess it wasn't, because I didn't really need to do it. All right, good job. Feeling that activation. Come on back into your body. I'm going to dive into some more questions here. And we got some more field experiments. All right, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you're having fun. Akashic field experiments today. Good stuff, y'all. All right, Glenn says, not sure if I can get in the US. I was convicted but never charged with 2 grams of pot back in the 70s. What do the records say? All right, let's see what the records have to say, Glenn, about that. The first thing that I want to share is that the records, like, rarely, and I say that and then they'll answer in this way, rarely give us like a yes or no response. Okay. What the records do is they invite us to perceive more intelligently. So, Glenn, let me ask you before I dive in, is it okay if I tweak some questions a little bit? And is it okay if I ask, what was the soul lesson that you were designed to, that your soul was designed to experience with this? All right. And then we can also, I will definitely get any information that I can about the outcome. All right. But let me know if that would be okay for you. I'm going to tap it and see what the guides would like to drop in. Okay, so the guides also want to talk about how we potentially influence the future. So the mandala effect is a very real thing. How many of y'all know about the mandala effect? Mandela effect, doggone it. Y'all like, no, I don't know about the mandala effect, because that's not what it's called, Emily. Okay, it's called the Mandela effect. Mandala sacred geometries that activate your subconscious mind. The Mandela effect is named after Nelson Mandela, and the phenomenon singular that was discovered when there were different outcomes remembered throughout society about his death in prison, whether he died in prison. About half the planet remembered him dying in prison, about half the planet remembered him being freed. And as this phenomenon started being discovered, take two. I've been traveling, y'all. I'm just a little bit tired. Been activating the planet and stuff, and all kinds of energy coming in. All right. So when this phenomenon was studied more, turns out it's a phenomena. It's plural. It happens in a lot of different places. So they started finding it with the Berenstain Bears. They started finding it with Kit Kat, whether there was a hyphen, mirror, mirror on the wall. Y'all, I started finding this shit in my own life, remembering dual timelines and remembering things differently. I also started recognizing it as a pattern in my students that were working in the Akashic Records. So when you train in the Akashic Records and you learn how to read your own Akashic Records, you also going to learn how to heal yourself. All right. So they were going back in time and utilizing a healing technique, which if you need to heal yourself, that was on a show recently too. Just go back on the YouTube channel and find 4 steps to healing. Heal this first. Okay, I share the very specific healing protocol that I've used with thousands of people. My eyes totally twitching at this point, to help you so that you can heal yourself. Okay, it works with everything. And truly, you are the only person that can heal you. Even though you can find assistance from healers, shamans, psychics, therapists, loved ones, friends, being out in Mother Earth, medicines, you have the ability to activate your awareness and know exactly how to heal yourself. Okay. And that's what happens when you start to read the Akashic Records. So when people were doing these kind of healings, different memories and timelines were collapsing, and the timeline of highest potential was emerging. So Glenn, if the future is not yet decided and the future exists in infinite possibility until it becomes a reality, and even then it can be changed. If the answer has not presented itself to you, you can do things to influence the highest potential outcome of the future. One is to do your own work on knowing why you chose this and what your soul needed to learn. Okay? So going back and take this back a couple episodes, Glenn, to the healing episode and see what your soul needed to learn. Okay? And then when we want to influence the future, we want to influence the field, here are the things that you need to know. Hello, Chief Flow Academy. Okay, so just like we are all connected, we all have this divine technology of the Akasha, of the crystalline tube of light that we can, it's under our influence. We can tap it into the earth and into the Akashic plane to draw in intelligence that will help us know what our highest potential is in this lifetime. It will spontaneously combust in your mind and your field when you tap in this way. Another aspect of how we are connected to our environment around us is our third eyes are connected into a dodecahedron. This is a piece of sacred geometry. It's one of the Platonic solids. And this grid surrounds our planet. And our third eyes are connected into it. So one of the reasons that humans respond so much to movies and cinema, it's moving pictures, because that's how our brain is working too. Okay, we're rapidly shooting these pictures out our third eye all the time. Our perceptions of reality, our perceptions of ourself, our perceptions of other people, and it's programming our collective experience of reality. So when you're worried about people, or you're bummed out, or you're rehearsing over and over in your mind all the shit that's going wrong in your life, you are creating more feedback loops for you to experience that. Okay. Which is why we've got to slow ourselves down in meditation and breath work, start getting conscious of your thoughts. And when you notice yourself thinking limiting beliefs, thoughts that are causing you ultimately to suffer, you take your power back. You choose different thoughts. You say, what storyline would serve me better? How can I see this differently? For me, it's super easy. When I catch myself worrying about my kids, I shift it. I say, all right, let me see, shoot out the highest potential outcome, which looks like them stepping into their power, them acknowledging me. I help them by acknowledging their higher self chose this so they could learn a lesson. I'm going to hold the space that they learn the lesson. I've seen them be victorious in learning their lessons before. Here we go. We're going to do it again. Okay, so this is how we learn to more mindfully co-create with our reality, with the environment around us. We are one, we are connected into our reality. You've heard this before. I co-create and manifest with the universe with ease. Yes, we're co-creating, but this is actually how it works. And when we understand more how it works, we play along more. You don't have to leave it out in the ether, the wonderment of the mind of I am co-creating with the universe. I just explained to all of our asses, the guides did through me, how it works. All right. So we got to get more conscious in terms of how we are playing the game. All right. So you got to work at a high Jedi level. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. If this is resonating with you, and thank you all for being here in the Sacred Classroom this Wednesday, doing your Jedi work. We're going to do a little bit more now. We're going to do some timeline tuning. This is our timeline tuning experiment. The purpose is to align with the highest probable reality. All right. All right. So the first thing that the guides want me to share is, as we're shooting these images into the field, a little bit more about how it all works. Okay. So yes, technically, the infinite possibility is available to us. However, I'll be real and honest with you too. Your soul chose to definitely come here to experience the infinite, but in a focused direction. Okay, not infinite scattered in all directions. You have passions, you have dreams, you have desires, you have things that light you up. We are all creators. The cool thing about a material reality is that energy gets to get focused and dialed into a particular frequency so that we get to interact with it on a different level. Truthfully, every single frequency is love. Or I should say all of the energy that we're experiencing is love dialed to a slightly different frequency, showing up to teach us. All right, so we're going to play with this energy of frequency here today. We are going to use our human technology to imagine, to feel, to sense the current of our highest energetic timeline. All right, so let's go back to connecting in, drop back in, feel all four corners of your feet on the floor. Drop in with your breath, activate the crystalline tube of light anchored into the core of Mother Earth outside this time-space continuum into the Akash. Okay, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to call forward the timeline of your highest potential. You're calling that forward in frequency form. And I want you to sense the energy in whatever way that is meaningful for you. Okay. Those of you who have trained with me in my master classes know the value of being able to share and reflect. We don't get all of that experience here today. You're going to get some of it though, okay? When you're in the master class, you get a little more guidance on what those senses are, and you get a chance to describe them, which describing what you're experiencing and what you're feeling helps you to tap into these subtle frequencies. So notice what's there for you. You're sensing right now the current of your highest potential timeline. Your innate knows what it's doing. Even if you feel like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, your innate knows what you are doing. Now I want you to release interference. Release interference in whatever way that is meaningful to you. Allow your innate wisdom to guide you. You know what to do. Release the interference. Now tune your frequency to miracle consciousness. Telling your body, giving your cells the directive. Your cells are intelligent. Your cells are wise. They are under your directive. Bring your breath back to a regulated state. We're going to collapse the old reality and materialize in our new timeline. You can do that by clapping your hands together in 3. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Collapsing that old timeline. Come back into your bodies. Slow blinks, come on back in. Send some love lax hearts across the screen. Woo, doggy. All right. I have a little present for y'all. I want to know how that was for you, though, first. All right. And I'm going to take some more personal questions. So get those lit up in my chat box, if you please. All right. For those of you who enjoyed that experience of bringing your subtle energy is the energy of your thoughts, your emotions, your innate intelligence, your consciousness. If you want to bring that energy under your directive and begin to experience it, to interact with it, to co-create with it, I want to invite you to check out the Intuitive Development Training. This is a free training, and this is also the gateway for those of you who do want to train deeper in your Akashic Records. Start here. All right. Developed intuition is the key to thinking differently so that you can eliminate overthinking and second guessing. By the way, the time and the energy that you get back when you really do this, I will speak from first person. The amount of time and energy and inspiration and creative ideas I got back when I recognized where my overthinking and second guessing was happening and I plugged that hole was unbelievable. If you want to stop doubting yourself, if you want to get out of fear and resistance, your intuitive mind is the only thing that can help y'all. Okay? There is a free training, a link there in the description. If you have not signed up for that, do it. And then here's what to expect next. By the way, I get an email when you sign up and I text you and I say, it's really me. And the majority of y'all don't text back. I think you don't think it's really me. It's really me. Okay. So sign up for that intuitive development training. I'm going to reach out to you, get a personal touch point on where intuition gets to serve you in your life. All right. And we're going to release the gates. It's like you're behind the fence. You're ready for the race to start. Okay. Lisa Gardner. Thank you. You felt the upper chakras pull. Say it again. Yeah. I like how it's moving in your field, girl. Good stuff. All right. Make sure you pick up intuitive development training again. Glenn says he's working on highest timeline manipulation daily. Get it. Conscious co-creation. Open the floodgates. Hey, that picture of you're in the forest. I recognize that forest. All right, guys, let's get some more questions. Lisa, yes, love this. When we recognize a shadow side of ourselves, which is keeping us from growth, what do we do to get rid of it? All right. Well, here's the thing. We come here to experience shadow. First of all, our shadow is so full of wisdom and intelligence. Our shadow also is a great avatar to help us see what is unseen. Okay. And I find that anytime I start to invite magic in my life to see what is unseen, it's all here already. Ain't no new magic going to come in this planet for us to actually see. It's all here already. So if I want to see more magic, what I got to do is I've got to invite myself to perceive more magic to see what is unseen. That's languaging that I love. I like to use it for a lot of different things. If I'm stuck in a soul lesson where my soul isn't figuring it out, I'm like, let me see what is unseen that my soul needs to learn. And anytime that I invite that, I not only see more magic, I also see more shadow. It's the way it works. Although, how I'm relating to the shadow has totally changed. So used to be when my shadow came up, I tried to run from it. And it's seriously like being a kid, try to run from your shadow. It doesn't work. It follows you. Okay. So we can't actually outrun our shadow. We've got to integrate it. We've got to figure out what data it has for us. So that was really the first piece of data that my shadow revealed to me, is that my shadow made me ashamed. My shadow put me in the lowest frequency energy possible on the scale of energy frequencies. And when you're in that lowest scale of shame, we become very susceptible to manipulation and control. So that was a great aha lesson about myself. Tough one, I'll say, to overcome. Like, shame is a tough one. My third eye's just blinking out there. It goes all the way back to biblical programming of the mistranslation of the story of Adam and Eve in the garden, and creating a perception that we need to be ashamed of ourselves when we're in our natural state. It's a tough one. We can just shoot some energy through that timeline right now if y'all want to. Okay, this one is not on my list of timeline. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, y'all, we're going to play hard right here. Y'all want to go back and send some white light into where that story got manipulated? You want to create some mandala effects, some ripples? You want to open the floodgates? All right, let's play. I'm feeling a little rebellious, like we should do that. All right, so you are invited to participate in a powerful mission right now to shift energy on the planet. Sitting up nice and straight, tap back into that crystalline tube of light anchored into the core of Mother Earth, into the Akash. Tap back into this present moment where you can access all of your power, and allow your divine intelligence to take you to the point where this story originated, and white light, flooding that with white light like the snow, flooding it, your whole intelligence, your whole field, flooded with white light, every cell in your body, flooding white light. If you want to know what it looks and feels like to see yourself through the eyes of the divine as it was intended, you can say yes now. Yeah, good shit. Good stuff. Okay, Lisa, I'm going to go back to your question here about shadow. That was a fun little jaunt the guides took us on here, but I do feel like we got a little derailed from shadow. All right. But, we just saved the whole planet from shame. High five, Lisa. I guess it's the ultimate shadow, right? All right. So let's see what else the guides have to say. What do we do about our shadow when it comes up? Shadow is a disowned part of ourself. It's an unhealed part of ourself. So we got to do the 4 steps of healing in the Akashic records. Okay. So again, those 4 steps, let me see if I can remember them off the top of my head right now. I teach these. And again, there's a video a couple weeks back for any of you who want to go back and heal any shadow or heal any trauma. It works for any part of ourself that is not inherently whole and complete, that we are experiencing from a fractal state. You'll know if you're looping through it constantly. Okay. So first thing is to identify the theme or the core essence of what the brokenness within us is. Name the brokenness. Then we go back in time to the moment when we first remembered experiencing that, sort of like we did this Adam and Eve stuff here, and we white light it. I explained in that video why the white light works. Then we ask about the gift within the wound. There's always some aspect of a gift there. What was my soul supposed to learn from this? And then Lisa, then we have to imagine and practice, rehearse our new identity, ourself without that. And then we got to be prepared to probably show up as our old self a whole bunch of times before we finally integrate and remember the new identity. But that's okay. That's this plane of material reality can be somewhat slow in our manifestation. We can also manifest instantly when we get really good at it. But the thing is, most of us aren't very good at it because we're doing it unconsciously. So that time delay allows us to make adjustments. And sometimes, the time delay makes me slower at being my best than I want to be. I've learned to laugh at myself. All right. Great stuff, Lisa. Thank you for that. I identify the emotional root. Yes. Yep. Love it. Shadow integration equals full power of light and night aspects of consciousness. Yep. If you have shadow work coming up in your field, get excited. You a powerful mofo, if so. All right. There's power awaiting you. All right. So we're going to move into our third and final activation today. Perhaps one of the most powerful activations that we're going to do. It's the sensitivity reawakening. The purpose is to reverse desensitization. And I'll share with you guys a personal story about this revelation of human potential. Like, as I asked to see through the eyes of the divine, and then my higher self starts teaching me through my everyday moments. All right. So my everyday moment looked like watching a movie with my dad. We watched the Matt Damon, Ben Affleck movie, The Rip. And it wasn't as good as Good Will Hunting. I got to say that. Pretty cool character study, although, man, when those two start fighting each other and they start fighting others and the humans start freaking punching each other out, I cringe. I freaking hate this violence. It's why I don't watch a whole lot of TV, because I can't do the violence. The swearing doesn't bother me at all. The violence, however. And I'm contemplating Ben and Matt. And their movie Good Will Hunting came out when I was a young starlet in Hollywood. So I was definitely very caught up in that storyline and the artistry that came through these two men that really, awakened all of us at a deeper level. It's really cool. That's what storytelling and power, inspiration, and art can do. All right. And so they're coming back together. And it's a cop movie, and in parts of it, they're fighting each other. And I'm thinking, how can these souls who are brothers, who love each other so much, who brought through such powerful artistry, how can they fight each other like this? And what began to be like they're brothers, they're soul brothers, right? And so what began to be revealed to me again, well, they're Boston boys, they're rough and tough on the streets, and yeah, we learn to fight. However, I could glimpse the part of us, the pure, innocent part of us as humans that loves each other so much that we would never turn on each other in that way. We would never turn weapons against each other, never turn weapons against ourselves, furthermore. All right, it was powerful. And I realized how desensitized humanity has become, that we just watch that constantly. And then I began to think about, like, I could see, like, you get just a little bit off track with the desensitization, right? And now we're willing to war with each other. Many evolved places in the galaxy, y'all, where that shit's not allowed. And nobody wants to do it anyway because we're over it. There's so much more. Come on. This is stupid. It's stupid. Okay. So as we begin to resensitize ourselves, we can move our consciousness, our artistic collaborative potential in the other direction. And I began to see what a society, future ripple generations of a society of humans can look like when we sensitize ourselves, when we feel alive again. All right. So we're going to resensitize, tap back in. This is to heighten your sensory awareness. Feel all four corners of your feet on the floor. Activate the crystalline tube of light anchored into the core of Mother Earth and into the Akash. Good. Give yourselves the directive to heighten their sensory awareness. Resensitizing ourselves. We are reversing the desensitization, and we are resensitizing ourselves to love, to compassion, to collaboration, to how good that feels. Yeah, to heart and soul-based living. Feel that. Feel the subtle energy in your body, illuminating, vibrating, reflecting, living from heart and soul. Feel that. Give yourselves the directive to reconnect to wonder. If you want to know what it looks and feels like to experience yourself as the sensitive, compassion, enlightened being that sees wonder in every moment that you are designed to be, you can say yes now and you will activate your intuitive receptors, parts of you that have been dormant that can collect this information and help you to process it, help you to see it. And so it is. Aho. Can I get an amen? Y'all did great. Nice deep breath. Come on back into your bodies. Give yourself a nice gentle pat down. When your hands touch your body, it's like a hug. Okay, you're letting your nervous system know that you are safe holding this new frequency. Good stuff today. All right, we are going to wrap up today, but don't forget, again, y'all, this is all about your intuition. Make sure that you go and you grab that intuitive development training and expect a text from me afterwards. All right, that's also if you want to train more in your Akashic records and you are ready to tap into your power, you want to read your own records so that you can clear and rewrite them. You can rewrite programs of health and programs of prosperity in your life. That is possible. That is what we do. Lisa, we're 3 for 3. 3 big O's in this one. High five, Lisa. Love it. That's the Akashic records are what are going to help you know exactly where and how to heal yourself, how to tap into the timeline of your highest potential. And furthermore, invite you into your ability to look through higher mind and be more creative, more passionate, more joyful, more of all what we were meant to be in every single moment. All right. And I look forward to walking that sacred journey with y'all. It's what I'm here for, is to help you to remember the technology, the power of the Akashic records in your life, not only for you to change things, for you to experience the life that you wanted to. That's such an important part of us being here, is that we all get the free will to create that. But then as we do it as a collective, we are changing the planet. And I love y'all and it's fun. All right. I will see you back here again next time. Share this out with somebody that you love. And namaste, I guess.
The Akashic records hold all information, past, present, and future, and are available to assist you now.
Do you seek answers within yourself but don't know if you can trust your intuition? Do you desire positive change in life but feel unsupported by others? Do you suffer from failure to execute but have hit your point of enough? Not only have I been there, but I have found my way out, and so can you. The Akashic records are your key to understanding any area of stagnation and hold solutions to your greatest challenges. My mission is to teach you everything I know about the Akashic Records, how to use them with mastery, while always staying in beginner's mind, which will keep you humble yet powerful. It's all within you. Come, let me show you.
What have I gained from the Akashic Records? Reading the Akashic Records has strengthened and deepened my intuition, and at the same time allowed me to build a deeper connection with the inner wisdom of my gut and my heart in order to be able to support and challenge the decisions that I've made in my head.
Learning to read the Akashic Records helped me to cultivate the courage and the knowledge to start a new business. It helped guidance become clearer. It helped me become more confident for my entire life moving forward.